piem alata maimu a yes sister ana say brother we kwame hu si din famfre no se si e ka say de mi say o yes sister ana asem because police for watching din e kura na ye be ma din no ane kura no intimi nim si emfa ne yes sister o si brother o ene okupi alata si na aba betudwa ya kwache no ya che no din na me ache yes sister o mu che sika sembi ene eye dream di bi akoso enam so sister yi akwa nim se me ne brother wo sister wo abepiem ho na eche no anwasem abepiem se na boje se na start ya efu etimi nim se enum ode kana boje se na ma emba biem na wunya de ya nim ho asem enti yakwachi ye sister yi ye brother yi ama se ya ye ka sei o police fo akachi ya jeli no se 6 months se bisa ye be kwa kotie news no ade crop ye sister yi ye brother yi ya enunti yakwa akwachi no ye nko he video ntama no free court dem AP no wakata na nim kama pa
Just be following you. Yeah, he's always
hello, come on now.
Hi Bob, let's talk to you.
Yeah, brother, sister, brother. Yes, sister, brother. See, I say the police for aquafan free court wa. Eja, yadina koku wrake muni adia na ya jeli no. Na a pan ye brother, ye sister, why ye brother, sister, why you could tell a for no sunchide mumra.
Now, controversial cross-dresser Idris Okuneye, aka Bobrisky, appears to be in hot soup, if you ask me. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has arraigned him in court on a 6-count charge bordering on abuse of the naira and other offenses. The lady boy, if you understand me, has pleaded guilty to the accusations, especially the abuse of the naira, and has begged for mercy. But the trial judge has not budged. He has sent Bobrisky back to the EFCC custody, and therefore reserved judgment on the matter to April 9. We are prisoners of the choices we make in life here, Majid. Make the choice, but be ready.
He or she, Idris,
him.
Honestly, I think the EFCC needs to conduct more investigation to this on its matter.
Okay.
I love the way it's been paraded, and beyond this trial, they need to dig into how, because they checked 2 of his accounts. You say you are selling creams. What kind of creams are you selling to earn 187 million and another one 57 million? And you are not paying tax. Now it says it's a social media influencer with 5 million followers.
Yeah.
And we have had a lot of things, I mean, that we cannot say on television here, that she does. So it has been a negative influence to a lot of youth in the society. So beyond this media trial for him, which, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, you can see some the people who are even going there to see him. You can see a lot of views on social media because of this character.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a boy, Idris. How can you win a competition meant for ladies? This is where the whole thing started from. Beyond abusing the Naira, of course, abusing the Naira is just a very film thing. The EFCC sees people at parties, even selling notes on a daily basis without, arresting them.
Oh, yeah.
So they need to dig deeper into what he does. Because
it's deeper than we think.
It's deeper than what we think. So the EFCC or even the police or other security agencies needs to dig very deep into his activities to trace the source of funds into his accounts. Because Yoruba says, "Iromiton Joni Ojuomi Onilwe is beneath the water."
The person where they dance for street, you don't say the drummer.
The drummer, they do somewhere. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good for him to have pleaded guilty. He said he's going to use his 5 million followers to preach against Naira abuse. She will still do it at another occasion.
Yeah. Jide, you have your attitude to this.
Yes. The Bob Reckless is a big attention seeker. There's no doubt about it that he's a terrible influence to young people. And if we are not careful, some of the negative things happening in America, they will start doing it before our eyes here.
Oh, yeah.
You know? It's a terrible thing.
And then you'll be told
going on.
The world they do.
And they will say, look, it's their sexual preference and all that. God designed marriage for man and woman. For the purpose of procreation and to live together happily.
Oh, yeah.
The people who want to be gay and the rest of them, because they cannot procreate on their own, they go to adopt children. Why don't you give birth to your own children?
Oh.
You know, Shebi, you are married.
You are reminding me of the late Robert Mugabe.
You are married. You are married to a fellow man. Deliver your own baby now. Let us see. I mean, I don't want to go into all this. But if we really want to defeat this abuse of our currency, then the punishment has to be stiff. It's not the only one.
Yeah.
It's not the only one. Interestingly, the EFCC, they dropped, the prosecution dropped the matter of suspected money laundering. The count 5 and count 6, they dropped it and limited themselves to the matter of Naira abuse.
Yeah.
And seeing that, look, they had these videos. I'm not going to call him he, she. He's a man. If he wants me to believe that he's not a man, let him get into a state of undress and let us see the kind of genitalia that is going around with. You know? So because he knows that, okay, the punishment is not that stiff, he quickly, in order not to waste the time of the court, he quickly admitted his guilt. And because of that, allocutors, I predict that on April 9, when the court will sentence him, he will get a light sentencing.
Yeah.
The last woman, the actress that was convicted, the actress that was convicted, Mother Asimi, that was convicted the other day, she was sentenced to 6 months imprisonment with an option of fine, and she was fined 300,000. Actually, the act prescribes 50,000 naira fine, but the judge felt, look, in order for this to serve as a deterrent to others, the judge fined her 300,000. If you fine Bob Reckless 300,000, it's chicken change to her. I will not call. This is what I choose to call her, Bob Reckless. If you if you fine Bob Reckless 300,000 naira, it's nothing to her, because she has money. That even the EFCC, they too are confused as per where did this money come from. You know? So there has to be punishment without an option of fine for this kind of crime, even if it is for 2 months.
Yeah.
Watching people stand on our currency, dancing on it, and behaving irresponsibly on it, throwing it as if it doesn't matter. In a season when people do not know where their next meal will come from.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy what we see people do. And they say, oh, it's our culture. What kind of culture? Where in the world do people desecrate their own currency? Your currency is a symbol of your national pride. And we watch people stand on our money, dancing on it, do all kinds of things with it. And we have the law. If we want to stop this nonsense, the punishment has to change. Why is it that Nigerians who can't go to Malaysia to take drugs, they bring it into their country? Because they know their heads will be cut off there. You go to China with illicit drug, your head goes off. You go to Saudi Arabia, your head goes off. You go to Thailand, but they bring it to our country, and then they get a slap on the wrist. So that's why I said that every country gets the kind of crime that it deserves. If we want to put an end to the nonsense that Bob Reckless is doing right now, then, can see she's putting it on the ground. Then let there be no option of fine, even if it is 1 month.
Did they look at the face? Are you looking at a man or a woman?
I've told you, you heard me. If she wants us to believe that she's a man, let her go into a state of undress so that we can verify.
All right. Time to go. But again, it must be stated here, make your choice, but be ready to defend it, if it becomes an illegal matter.
Defense. She didn't even bother to defend. She just pleaded. That's what she did. Because she knew that she should be convicted. So
that she will now use 5 million.
The same way that Naira Marley too wants us to believe that he has become a champion against illicit drug use.
Any na da ho no sister isi e ka say de ye brade o police for any mra nse ensem wo enwoma a wakoya akofa asem de abre ye brother sister obetimi de so adwen kira ba na den na obi oye bema oye saa di wie me nanim sesa ma obedane oba na nanim musa fu minim se nka emfu bi mu na tisi no omo se ne kala na kora start ya san yituntum ana ne mema asem no so start na matia start ya bobbo kama party se ni nufu ana hye nyina start ya tweko assemble kre.
The last thing we broached concerning cross-dresser Idris Okuneye, aka Bobrisky, some days ago, was that he would be sentenced on April the 9th, but the 9th happened to be a holiday. Well, that has eventually come. Justice Abimbola Awogboro of the Federal High Court in Lagos has sentenced Idris to 6 months in jail with no option of fine. Bobrisky had pleaded guilty to the crime of abusing the national currency, the naira. The Salah holidays, as I told you, prevented the sentencing. But then the lesson is learnt. The lesson is taught. I hope it would be learnt.
The whole idea of coming up with a law is for it to serve as a deterrent to other people. When a society, when a country comes up with laws, it expects that the people will obey those laws. When a law prescribes what amounts to a slap on the wrist, then people are likely to abuse it recklessly. The last time we discussed Bob Reckless here,
Bobrisky.
the last time we discussed Bob Reckless,
Give his real name.
I demanded that the only way that you can actually stop the ill-bred people who step on the naira, who debase the naira the way they do not debase other currencies, is for the law to be deemed punitive enough. The big people who have access to new notes, words of naira notes that you and I may not readily be able to lay our hands on, if you find them as little as 50,000, which is the option of fine prescribed in the law, it's like you've wasted your time, you wasted the time of the court, you wasted everyone's time, because 50,000 naira is nothing to them. I then suggested...
I hear from the back pocket.
That,
then go come out.
I then suggested that the best thing is to remove the option of fine. That was my suggestion here. So that even if it is for 2 weeks that you jail them, or for 1 month, let the person who treats our currency like toilet paper, let him spend some time in the slammer. That was what I wanted. And I'm happy. I'm not saying the judge listened to me, but I'm happy that this is what happened. Because when people say, oh, first offender, but there are different videos of this fellow just, spraying and putting the currency on the floor.
Like he's doing now.
Yes. And then the effrontery, the feeling out there that, look, nothing can happen to Bob Reckless. We have so many big people there and all that. It's sickening to hear Nigerians talk like this. Who is he, for God's sake? Who is Bob Reckless in Nigeria? That people would think that, oh, the law can never catch up with him. Why didn't he tell the judge that he is a woman? The way he tells people on social media. He even said, don't call me cross-dresser, address me as a woman, because right now I do not have a male genitalia anymore. Prove it. Prove it if you don't have male genitalia anymore.
But he said he was going there. He was going.
Prove it.
Because it's no shape.
Undress, let us see whether you don't have a... So, for me, this is the kind of judgment that will at least serve as a deterrent. All those rich men, money misroad people who step on our currency, who dance on it, who treat our currency like a sweet wrap on the floor, they know now that they could be jailed without an option of fine. Every country deserves the kind of law
it gets.
Yes. If you go to Malaysia now, you take illicit drug to Malaysia.
It's good night.
Thailand.
Good
they know.
Night.
They know that those places. You go to Saudi
Arabia.
In the case of the Saudis, they will even administer justice right at the airport. They won't let you get into their city. It's at the airport that you will be beheaded.
Sigh.
But in our country, illicit drug is, I mean, abused anyhow, and they don't really, the law does not properly punish.
Yeah. Charles, now Bobrisky is in Islam, has been sentenced to 6 months. You think the law would go the whole hog?
Well,
if you understand what I mean.
Yes, going the whole world, whether it's going to actually serve as a deterrent, whether it's heavy enough to deter people, whether it's heavy enough to frighten people, whether it's heavy enough to actually put a stop.
No, but I underscore what he said, yes. Even if not for 1 week.
No, that's what I'm saying, that 1 week, but okay, when he comes out, is he going to be remorseful? That's where we are going. Okay, is the punishment heavy enough to deter people from even attempting to even do it in that?
Would the next offender be spared?
Another thing, that's another thing. Well, okay, well, again, you know, you and I were discussing at the reception when we were even looking at it that, okay, now people have been saying, oh, because Bobrisky, don't worry, you know, Nigeria, very soon this thing will die down. But I am happy that it didn't die down. But just like what you said, there have been instances of, there have been videos, countless videos where even some traditional rulers has also been captured on tape, on video, who are also messing with the currency. If you go elsewhere, some of us who have the privilege of having been to other countries before, you know how they treat their country. Once you look, what first of all, when you look at it, what makes your identity? Number one, what you don't trifle with. You don't trifle with the coat of arms of your country. You don't trifle with the national flag. You don't trifle with the uniform of the security agencies. When you look at these are highly respected
These are national symbols.
These are national symbols. And then the currency itself. I mean, that's what, because that's why we are not spending dollars here as a legal tender. It's naira. So when you now see that naira that makes a whole, that makes that adds to our national identity, then somebody is now with reckless abandon, then the person will actually fight Islam. I mean, I'm sure even for me, that 6 months is even too light. But maybe they must have looked at the law and say, okay, for me, I think it should go in for multiple years. So that
the judge will not go outside of the.
That's what I'm saying. I say I hope we work within the purview of the law and all that. So, but again, you said in your intro that a lesson has been taught, but who are going to be learning the lessons? So, because when you look at the social media, what is happening now? Bobrisky, please, it's not Bobrisky. Bobrisky.
That's what I choose to call it.
Bobrisky himself. It's not, I mean, he has so many co-travelers who are also doing that. Today, all the things we were taught by the Anglican Church, were taught by, even when we were growing up in those days, as family values and all that, it's no more there. Once you're able to make money, you just, look at all of them. Go to Lekki, they said they own society and all that. And then these young ones are looking up to them. Yes. Nobody traces the source of the income.
You're not interested.
No. Just make the money and then do
it.
And then look at, again, when his father, I think the father was buried last year, but he went there as Idris.
Yes.
I saw what he said.
With a flat chest.
So if he
in a jalabia.
if he said it was, I mean, if he wants us to believe that, why didn't he go to his father's burial as a woman? And then recently they also gave him that also is egging him on, the best dressed female and all that.
It was an irresponsible.
Very responsible. So I hope that the lesson that has been taught now by the court will be learned, and it will also go a long way for people to begin to respect our currency as part of our national.
The good thing about social media is, despite all of its negative sides, the good thing about it is those big men who are guilty of the aberrant behavior of trampling on our currency. They know that they could be captured on video. And once they are captured on video,
there's a precedent
out there.
There's a precedent.
They could be arrested.
There's a precedent.
They could be arrested. Not the same way. You don't know.
Nobody wants to forgive you.
No. There's
a precedent.
Once they put that video
on the
internet, the EFCC can come for you and say, okay, defend what we've seen. Are you the one in this video? If you cannot prove that you are not that one, they will give you the Bob Reckless treatment.
Because can they retroactively activate? Because there were
that is what happened in this.
There were some instances where I saw a video about one man, a traditional ruler, that had naira sewn together. And he wore it like this their bead. I mean, it happened last year or early last year. I mean, early this year.
You know, the law cannot catch everybody.
At the same time. Okay, but
you
one person has to be
you
used
can't
as
even
a-
put
as a
every Nigerian offender on trial. It's not practicable. We don't have the prisons to accommodate all of the
You can send to
bad
Norway.
people. But we can always make examples
Of one by
All right. I think in closing this story, I want to draw from the
Hello, Ebusiafo. So, Pesifita Asracha or Dofodie, and then Nafa Honkodom unique laser whitening. Unique laser whitening. Our toothpaste to strong kwa. What did you choose? Say, Emma was saying eye fita. Na eye fita non sono. Na ye and cowbunny beer a wo no mu beer. Any tea stain, coffee stain, smoking stain si beer. Unique laser whitening product. Ebe yini nyina free swama o kama. The obani say utu so na odi biegu o brush the so. Now the chicho sinisu nyina kama. Uvia and who wenum jano wenum sa into for unique laser whitening. I was 079-9979-2330. Unique laser whitening or say muni seso.
Mpenifo se bibi o wiase nti ne da ne atopnum na ne pabone fonti e wo se wo bambo hu hia na ne papa mu de Pro Technologies ana me kan fama wo ane Pro Technologies. We are specialized in both sales and installation of CCTV cameras. Yeton esa install CCTV cameras in the South Ghana and NASA brochure na ufi Ghana. Now beso CCTV camera installation. We need Pro Technologies and Nensa also. We get CCTV camera installation, electric fence, automated gate, access control, video doorbell, and intercom, and satellite TV, home theater. So upe biato, and wato, and pese be install them out. Pro Technologies and our software. Na shenenso. Say fidie nyina from America brochimem enti send papam na opedia man nwene ho na ne bo anso da form me kire ye know the web brochimem ha ene e branch e wo Ghana ye ni mo bra wo bre enti sika fa ye nsem se fa nya japade ma wo Ghana wo da na ne tenese ye say general construction so web brochire na peso si fi o Ghana e dan plan bi o peso si se wa sha se dada ana afi na peso si plan bia ye besi ama eno echi so here solar power ana bamba ho nsensem bi ade woni ye ni nsawo so ne esanso ye smart home abefo fidie bi apese hye e wo fie ana watwuma mo de ma wo woni ye ni nsawo so we are just a call away ne esanso wadan de ma han ana ofre brochira bedu Ghana na wo pe full house room ana apartment ahan for short term ana long term ye be ma obiane border form na bamba ho nsem de manwene ho enna ye interior decoration so wasi fie na wie ana yasu fie na ma no yes sign decoration ye besiesie fie ana office so e de ama no e so tom fidie bi na wo hokun fa so install ana ne settings ye beye e de ama e wo Ghana wo behu yen wo mira ofra denta e de wani a che dodowa wo behu ye e wo ahie ye ne Emerlin Pharmacy e na wo the same building. For information or WhatsApp 401-7570-300 and a +401-6992-254. Pro Technologies. We have the solutions for your security and home entertainment needs at affordable prices.